Hi friends, my name is Denisha, but you can call me Niche, and I'm the creator of the Chroma Network, which is a personal and professional development platform for multifaceted women of color. And today's video is all about dealing with post-grad loneliness and how to make friends after college. I think these tips are going to be really helpful whether you've just graduated, maybe you've moved to a new city, or you're just looking to branch out and start fresh in general. So before we dive into anything, I just want to say that I do think that feeling of loneliness or questioning or adjusting after you graduate from college is completely normal. It's something that I've talked about so many times with so many different people from all walks of life. So if you're feeling that, do not worry. We all go through it in some degree or another. And the reason why I think that is college gives you a sense of routine in a way that establishes normalcy. You're building community with a bunch of people who are all in the same stage of life. They might have different personality types or, different backgrounds, but for the most part, more or less, you're all kind of going through the same thing. And that's cool because it can be comforting in a period of time where you need comfort. You might be far away from home for the first time, and you really need to know that you have people who have your back, who understand what it is that you're experiencing. So that's great. But when we graduate, that all flips on its head. We do a complete 180 and things are totally different. And that difference, I think, is what can be very jarring for a lot of people. You're maybe entering the workplace for the first time. If you did an intern in undergrad, or maybe even if you did, it's still an adjustment. And now you're going from being the most senior person on campus, the one who people are looking to for advice or just looking up to in general as a wise person, you're feeling great, to entering this environment where now you're the most junior person, you're the youngest, and you're really feeling like you don't know anything at all. That's scary. It can make you doubt yourself. It can make you question yourself. You're feeling really young, really inexperienced. And for a lot of us who are early career or young professionals, I think that's where imposter syndrome steps in for a lot of us for the first time in a real way. And then aside from the workday, now you're going from having a preset schedule. You picked your classes, but you're following a schedule each day, to now you're telling yourself what to do. You're setting your own schedule. No one's holding your hand and telling you you need to be in this place at this time. It's really all up to you now. And that's a huge distinction as well. And then socially, you went from being in close proximity to all the people that you love to now probably being spread out across states or even just borough lines. If you live in New York, going from Brooklyn to uptown is like a long distance relationship. So that's another difference. You might feel like you're moving in a different direction than your friends, or maybe you want different things than your friends do. Everyone is experiencing life, and the only thing that's really uniting you at this point is change. We're all going through change and transformation, and that becomes the thing that you can bond over. But depending on how that goes, it can also create a bit of an isolating experience. So when it comes to working on this, I think that the inner work is also very important to address. I think it all starts with a mindset shift, and that's because feeling lonely can really knock your confidence. You might be wondering, what is it about me that is causing me to not have friends or not having anyone to hang out with? Why am I spending so much time by myself? And I think when it comes to dealing with that, it's really important to shift your mindset and your perspective on groups, or more so shifting and managing your expectations. I think the way that the undergrad experience is set up, it can make you very reliant on groups and group activities. As I said before, everyone's going through the same experience, so you're really moving in a pack. You might be taking the same classes as people in your year, or doing the same things and activities as people in your major outside of class. So you're in groups all the time. And post-grad life is not like this at all. I always joke with my friends, but I'm actually not joking. If stuff is not in my calendar, it's not happening. If I can't see it, it's not happening because I'm going to forget. And now, I remember when I was in undergrad and we would have meetings for group projects or clubs, we'd always use when to meet to pick the time when everyone was available. And now sometimes I feel like I have to do that with my friends. And that's just because everyone has different schedules, or maybe things that they're doing outside of work that they want to focus on. People are busy now, and we really have to work around each other's schedules and coordinate just to see each other, to hang out or have lunch. You really have to keep things top of mind. I need to hang out with my friend this week, or I need to see this friend this month because they have X thing going on. It just becomes becomes a bit more complicated because now you're managing life, as I said before. So we really have to get accustomed to and comfortable with the idea that people are not always going to be down for everything that you want to do. And that has nothing to do with you, and it's not something that you should take personally at all. You want to get comfortable with the idea of doing different things with different people. It's okay to have a brunch friend, a workout class friend, a going out friend. It's okay to have different friends or different groups of friends who enjoy doing different things versus putting the expectation on one person to be everything for you. That's not realistic and it's not going to work out. You have to be okay with the attendance rate not always being 100% if you want to hang out in groups, which is perfectly fine. But you have to be comfortable with the fact that some people might not be able to make it to everything, or even just get comfortable with one-on-one activities. Hanging out with friends on an individual basis, I think, can also help in this department. I think it's perfectly normal to want to do things with people. I think we're social creatures, but I think at the root of it, you have to enjoy time with you. The only way other people are going to want to spend time with you is if you want to spend time with you, because it reflects in the way that you treat yourself, how you talk about yourself, how, it shows in your demeanor. I personally do solo stuff all the time, whether it's shopping, going to the museum, sometimes eating, or going out to try restaurants or bars. I do that sometimes and it's fun. I go more for the experience and because it's something that I care about and I want to enjoy. And of course I want to share that with the people that I love, but they're not always available. My point is, don't waste your days or sit around in your room like wondering when you're going to be able to live life just because you don't have people who are available to do those things with you. I say just do it. The more you flex that muscle and get comfortable with doing those things by yourself or doing solo activities, the easier it becomes for you to do it on a larger scale. So don't dive into going to Paris by yourself. Start small. Maybe it's going to a local cafe or a local restaurant or going to a workout class by yourself. And sometimes you being by yourself makes it even easier for you to attract new friendships because it's less intimidating for some people to approach you when you're by yourself. So keep that in mind also. And also, I touched on this a bit earlier, but just really focus on reframing your self-talk and your self-perception. I just want to stress that how you think about yourself and how you view situations does impact the experience that you have in the real world. So if you want other people to want to spend time with you, you need to want to spend time with you as well. You need to think and believe in your heart of hearts that you are a person worthy of spending time with. Now let's get to the outward experience. These are the steps that you can take. These are the tips that you can actually implement in your life to just, jazz up your social circle a little bit. The first is mutual friends. Whether you're in a new city or just wanting to try new things, ask the people that you know if they know other people who live in your area or who are interested in the thing that you like, and ask them to connect you. Chances are, if that person likes you, there are things about them that you find attractive, you might find similar qualities in their friends. So if you need a place to start, a mutual friend could be a good way in. Next up is pursue your interests in group settings. That could be you taking a class, joining a sports team, going to a seminar or a talk about a topic that you're really interested in. It makes it easier to navigate doing things alone or solo activities when you're in a group, because now you're surrounded by people who have that same passion or have that same interest, and it makes conversation a lot easier because there's naturally something for you to talk about. And people tend to go to these activities either alone or in small groups anyway, so that can be a good way in if you're looking for a low stress, low pressure way to start doing solo activities or to meet new people. Next up is joining social and volunteer organizations. I think it's really important, one, to give back to your community, but if that's something that matters to you, joining a volunteer group in a formal way could be a great way to meet other people who also have that same interest and that same passion. And again, shared interest makes it easier for you to start conversation, and it's great to know that the people that you're meeting care about the same things as you do. On a similar note, on the virtual side, I recommend interest groups, so that can be Facebook groups, the Meetup app, forums. All those places are a great way to dive into conversation about topics that you're interested in and meet other people who care about those same things. Next, I would say use the workplace. I know that we talk a lot about our coworkers not actually being our friends, but I've made some really great friends and met really cool people through work. And I think it's really great, especially if you're in a place that has entry-level employees that are all around the same place. Typically that's investment banking, or maybe you're in a rotation rotational program. That can be a great way for you to meet people and make friends as well. So do not sleep on your coworkers becoming your actual friends. My next tip is to become a regular at your local spots. So your coffee shops, your gyms, become a regular. Go there consistently and say hi to the people that you see. You never know who might want to strike up conversation or who might think your outfit's cool. You just never know what could happen. So become a regular at your local spots and don't be afraid to say hi or start small talk. Next up is co-working spaces. This is going to be a really good one if you're working from home. It might be nice to switch up your routine a bit and go somewhere else. Try working from a fresh space, a co-working space. There are tons of people who are doing the same things as you, and you never know who you can meet. Next, I'd say have a say yes attitude. Of course, within reason, don't say yes to crazy stuff, but just be open to possibilities. If people invite you to activities that you may not usually try or just experiences that you haven't had before, be open to the possibility. You never know how it's going to turn out. That thing that you normally would have said no to could be the reason why you meet your next best friend or a great friend, or just have a really fun experience that you wouldn't have normally. So be open to things, say yes. You never know where it can lead you. Again, within reason. Use your judgment. Then I would say shoot your shot. Do not be afraid to connect with or reconnect with people from different parts of your life, or people on the internet who might seem cool to you. I think that a lot of the time there are potential friends right underneath our nose, people who might think that we're cool that are a bit scared to reach out to us, and vice versa. Just say hi. You never know. That person can be really receptive. I've met cool people off the internet that I now consider friends. Or there might be people from years back who maybe I didn't connect with, or they didn't connect with me, but now we just randomly kick off conversation and now we're hanging out. You really just don't know where simple conversations can lead you, so don't be afraid to start them. So that's it for today's video. I know that making friends in those first few years after college can seem like the most daunting, scariest thing in the world, but just trust in the fact that we're all kind of going through it in some way or another, and do not be afraid to reach out, shoot your shot, say hi. You don't know where it can take you. Also, if you ever get nervous, just think about it. Think about all the people that are surrounding you. It's like thousands of people. Someone has to like you. So if that helps you sleep at night, it helps me sleep at night. Just keep that in mind. So I hope this was helpful. If you feel like you just needed that spark in your social life, just remember that if you need more tips like these or more resources, you can sign up to the Chroma Network's mailing list, where we share all of our resources, whether it's digital or tangible, like our quarterly goal setting planner, new content, any updates go here first. That is the first place it hits before Instagram. So definitely sign up if you're interested. The link will be in the description. But other than that, I'll see you next week.